Hello, today 49 out of 100. I, I just recorded my whole video and realized my camera was in reverse. Which, I mean, I would be upset about it, but it's just so stupid that Shit. Um, what I want to talk about today is that I had a very great night last night at the concert. It was It was the Rini concert, Rini. He was a really great musician, great singer. And there were two, what's it called? Openers before him, two local musicians. And I just got a lot of inspiration last night. And just to go into that, like the first guy, his name was AJ Radico, AJRADICO, in case anyone wants to in case anyone's looking for a random musician to listen to. I really liked his energy and his stage presence, and when I was watching him, I got this feeling that I've never felt before about just, or maybe I have felt it before, but I got this feeling that I want to perform in the future. I think, like in front of people like that. I feel like I loved I just love that dude's energy. Like he was so like he was just funny and trying to get people like hyped up, which I don't know how well that worked, but he was trying, and like I admired him for that. And some of the songs were really good, and I just got this feeling of like I want to be able to do that in the future. So that was really cool. And then the second performers, they were called Bathe, Bathe. They're two dudes, and one thing I really liked about them is that they prefaced their songs, like they gave context for their songs before they performed them. And I really liked that because it made it easier to understand what the song was about and just connect to it. And it made it easier to like understand the lyrics because when you know what they're singing about, it's kind of easier to like connect the words if you didn't hear them correctly or clearly. And yeah, like one of the songs they gave the context for was like something along the lines of he was like, have you ever been invited somewhere by your crush, and so you obviously go, but you're kind of nervous, so you smoke a little bit of something, so you can kind of relax, and you get there, and it was something along the lines of that, and like I thought that was really funny, and it was just fun, and another song he gave context for was something about like going back home. And yeah, I just really enjoyed that. And then Rini was just like a spectacular musician. Like he sings super well, and the keyboardist and the drummer with him just like all together, it was just great music. And in order to stay in line with this practice of just approaching beauty and art with awareness, I did my best to just like be in the moment and just I didn't record anything, and I just listened and I watched, and sometimes I would just close my eyes and listen and just feel the music, and it was really great. Like it was another night of just dancing all night, basically, not all night, like for a few hours, and I had a great time. And I was just inspired because like the music was just so great, and it just reminded me to work on my song, and it reminded me like why some of the reasons why I want to write music. And so yeah, I really needed that. I needed that inspiration, and yesterday I got it. So I'm excited to put that to use. And one of the biggest inspirations I got from that night, or last night, was when Bathe was performing and he sang a song about home or whatever it was. That made me want to write about what home is, because that's been a really important thing in my yeah, that's been a pretty important topic in my life for the last few years, because for the last few years I haven't felt like I've had a home. Yeah, I haven't felt like I've had a home. Like I'm starting to get there now, but like I've been living in this apartment for almost 4 years now. Maybe it's been 4 years. And for the first like 2 years, it didn't feel anything like home. It just felt like a closet. And granted, it's a very nice closet. It was just filled with a bunch of just like shit I didn't know or have any use for, and like most of the stuff in here wasn't mine. There was, I didn't know where anything was. I didn't know what was in here. There was just clutter everywhere, and like I had to walk around a bunch of shit, and it was messy, and there were like actual like dirty places that I just like avoided, and I spent most of my time at either my desk playing video games or in bed. And so it never really felt like home. And there's more reasons for that. I spend a lot of time traveling because of my work and also because of the relationship that I'm in. I would go back home to my parents like once every few weeks, and I would go to Korea once every few months to go see my partner. And every time I came back here, I would need like a week or two to basically like recharge my social battery, and like just I would just isolate myself, and by isolating myself I would basically just be just smoking weed and playing video games and not talking to anybody. And I thought that was helping me, but I was really just avoiding things I needed to do. And I wasn't using this space like a home. I was literally just at my bed, like watching YouTube, at my desk playing games, or like showering. I like barely would use the kitchen other than to like grab like diet cokes out of the fridge. And yeah, like doing all that traveling, and then spending the first week or two back after traveling essentially just doing nothing. Like I didn't feel like I was ever living here. It just felt like one stop along my path to the next place. And so whenever I came back here, it never felt like, oh, I'm finally home. Like it always felt like, well, here I am in this dirty, lonely apartment. And so yeah, like I haven't felt rooted in one place. And I think that was kind of gnawing away at me just mentally for a while. But that's been changing, because now, like when I got back here this time, I just immediately started cleaning and like tidying things up. And I've also been buying a lot more things that are just like that are mine. And so this place is filling up with more of my things, and like I'm decorating in ways that I like, and it's starting to look prettier, and it's starting to feel more like home. And I'm also just like actually like living here now. Like I'm not just using this as a space to isolate myself. I'm like Like I've been actually using the kitchen because I'm cooking every day. I actually use a dining table instead of just eating at my desk and like getting delivery every night. I actually sit and lay down on the couch to read or listen to music. I can use all the restrooms because now all the toilets work, and like yeah, I actually like use this place, and it's starting to feel more like home, and I've been a lot happier because of that. And going back to the inspiration of home, like when Bathe, the musicians, brought that song up, like this context of that song up, I just suddenly remembered like, oh, that's such a good idea for a song. And I got really excited to write about home because like I've been doing this object writing exercise for 10 minutes every morning, and I just wanted to write about that the next day, today. And so that's what I did. This morning I wrote about home, and I just wanted to share that, but like I already shared it once technically because I already recorded this video once, but like again, like I'm just cringing at the thought of sharing this, but I need to get used to sharing my writing anyways, and today's the first day where I feel like I actually wrote something like even remotely sensible, and like not just like almost utter nonsense. And so I figured I would share this, my object writing on home, because I mean this was just like the most fun I had during this writing exercise thing, and it's also the topic that's meant the most to me so far. And I am stalling, so I'm just going to read. But actually, just to remind anyone who doesn't know, the object writing is essentially I choose an object and I write about it in relation to my five senses, including two others, which I don't know how to describe in words completely, but I kind of have a sense of how to write about them, but not fully, so I'm just going to not go into it. But basically, like my five senses. So, and I don't even know if I go through all those five senses here. And also, I'm supposed to do this in 10 minutes and no longer than 10 minutes, so it cuts off the middle of my writing. But I mean, whatever. Now I'm actually stalling, so I'll just read. So, home. It can look like many things. It can look like walking into the kitchen to smell mom's cooking. It can sound like the chatter of your family as they talk about their day. It can feel like the stillness and silence of the peace you feel as you return from a long night out. It can look like the sparkle in someone's eyes as they stare at you with love. It can look like a bustling city or a quiet suburb, sometimes a farm with content animals living day by day as the trees and plants you planted months or years before grow taller every day. It can feel like the soft embrace of the cotton and memory foam as you lay down at night. It can taste like the spicy, red, oily stew mom cooked, or the familiar, plain chicken breast you feed yourself every other night for the sake of simplicity and weight loss. It's where your body is no longer tense, where there's no need to put on an image of who you think you need to be, and where you relax to be who you are. Home is stillness. And then I ran out of time and it cuts off, and I want to write about it more, but I think I'll save that for another day. But yeah, that was a little bit about what I had to say about home, and I think it's just a really like touching topic. At least to me, it means a lot to me, definitely. And I think part of the reason for that is that I feel like I'm still trying to create my home. And I don't know, maybe writing about it will help me figure out a little more like what that means to me, what is home, and then that'll make it easier for me to create my home. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I can go into the stress I'm feeling from work and the mental and physical anguish I felt during my workout today. But I mean, like, I think this is a fine, a perfectly, like, this is plenty to talk about. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's about everything I covered in the original recording. So yeah, thank you for watching. And I will be back again tomorrow for day 50. Halfway there.